Churches and faith-based organizations across Wisconsin lead efforts to get more people to vote and engage with elected officials. Reporter Merv Seymour tells us more about the historical connection between the church and voter engagement.
Then after getting people registered, that is another and even greater responsibility.
Echoes in the fight for the right to vote during the civil rights era have long rung out.
And that is to go out to vote in the primary.
More than a half a century later,
Let us march on ballot boxes.
the urge to march on continues.
In some areas, you see 3 churches on one block.
It rings from the one place some consider the catalyst for community engagement.
I don't care where you go, the church is the most powerful entity that we have in our grasp.
The church. Reverend Greg Lewis not only preaches,
When I get to heaven, it's going to be a happy day.
he also leads the nonprofit, nonpartisan organization Souls to the Polls.
Church, you have work to do.
Its goal?
Talk to your friends, neighbors, relatives. Call them, tell them, listen, involve yourself in the process. We have power, we have the numbers, we just need the energy.
Get everyone in his community who's eligible to vote.
This is something that we can really make home for early voting. Amen?
We always intentionally went to the early vote location at Midtown.
When the Midtown early voting site in Milwaukee unexpectedly shut down,
Let's work harder to get out and vote early, even more than before.
Souls to the Polls united with more than a half dozen community groups and some of the 400 pastors Lewis says he has in his contact list.
We're going to make sure that we really push early voting.
The goal, keep an early voting site in this neighborhood.
This is important. This is where we have to start.
In what feels at times like an outdoor sermon, Reverend Greg Lewis preaches the importance of early voting.
This is how we get economics. This is how we get housing. This is how we get jobs. We have to put people in place who will help us do the things that need to be done in this community, and voting is number uno.
It's great to register people, but if they can't vote, it really hasn't accomplished much.
A few miles to the south in a residential neighborhood.
This is the Milwaukee Zen Center, which has been here in this place for over 30 years.
Sits a Buddhist temple.
We meditate here in the mornings and we take classes.
On this day, it's a meeting place.
Anything the system needs to know, it's going to ask for.
To learn about registering people to vote.
Today, we're going to do a voter registration training.
To use the online system, someone has to already be 18 years old.
Every vote counts, and it is important that we take care of that.
Organized by Buddhist priest Reverend Gumbel and presented by the League of Women Voters.
In order to vote, you have to prove who you are. But when you're registering, you have to prove where you live.
People here anxiously learn about how to best prepare themselves as election workers. Guided by faith, this nonpartisan nonprofit spiritual center also sends out thousands of written letters before Election Day encouraging people to vote.
We ask people to very carefully look at the agenda that certain people have and then make a vote according to their own values. And I think, everybody needs to do that for themselves.
The vote is one piece of the whole advocacy picture.
In the heart of the University of Wisconsin-Madison campus,
faith communities have had a role in advocacy for a long time.
Reverend Michael Birch at Crossing Ministries looks to educate this college community about political activism.
Listening to the students, that's my main role.
He does so by bringing together students with and without faith.
It's not all about really being on one end of the spectrum or the other, but learning to be versed in what you're advocating for and understanding it, and also being willing to move your position.
What is it that you want them to do? Be really clear in your ask.
On this night,
if you're on the mailing lists for different organizations, I'm sure you've gotten asked to sign this petition, put your signature on this letter.
Rabbi Barney Margulis of Wisconsin Faith Voices of Justice schools a small group of students on how to engage with their local politicians and communicate with their voice and their vote.
Students really need to understand the power of their voice and that they really have not just the right, but also the responsibility to vote, to learn about issues, to look into things that they care about that are important to them, and to build relationships with their elected officials.
Benjamin Darava listens from the front row with a purpose.
Tonight, I hope to learn sort of how to take my first few steps in being more active politically, aside from just voting in elections.
Ask the students to come up with the questions that they want to have asked, have a moderator. Choosing not to vote is a choice, as much as choosing to vote. And if you don't vote, then the person who did vote gets to choose for you who your elected official is. So if you want your values and your beliefs to be reflected in who gets elected, then you need to exercise your right to vote.
We picked up folks here at the church and took them out to vote. We had folks who they went to their homes and they took them to vote.
Without a doubt,
all of these faith communities have long histories of speaking truth to power.
this election cycle, influence from faith and church groups will likely play a huge role.
We can't let anybody take care of our business, y'all. It's got to be people we can trust.
And who wins and loses at the ballot.
Clergy and faith leaders are trusted messengers. Whether you're at temple on Friday night or the mosque Friday afternoon or church Sunday morning, clergy have kind of a captive audience.
Without faith community involvement in these issues, the entire picture is different.
Reporting for Here and Now, I'm Murph Seymour.